The Diddy trial is underway, and we're now into day 2 of the star witness of the prosecution. Cassie Ventura returned to the stand today in the federal criminal trial of her former boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs, who faces 15 years to life in prison if convicted. Per the Washington Post, during her testimony, Ventura recounted her time with Combs, beginning with what she considered an inappropriate kiss from him when he was her boss at the start of her career, and continuing into a years-long relationship in which she alleges he abused her physically and emotionally and sexually assaulted and trafficked her. She also testified that Combs coerced her into participating in freak-offs, days-long drug and sex-fueled parties with male escorts, which Combs allegedly filmed and directed down to the smallest details. Ventura shared graphic details of the alleged freak-offs. According to her testimony, Combs choreographed what people wore and whom they had sex with at the parties and took direct control over every aspect, including the use of lubricants, candles, linens, and room temperature settings. Ventura added that the freak-offs, in which she was instructed to have sex with male escorts while Combs watched, could last for 2 or 3 days at a time and happened in hotel rooms in New York City, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Miami, Turks and Caicos, and Ibiza. She says her first experience in such an event occurred when she was 22. Ventura said she was confused and nervous, but she didn't feel she had much choice but to participate. The freak-off, which allegedly featured drugs and alcohol at a Los Angeles home Combs was renting, involved a male escort whose photo was shown to the jury as Ventura spoke. "I understood him to be a dancer," she said. "He was paid to entertain and to dance and to have intercourse with me." After that, she testified that Combs involved her in freak-offs weekly for a period of years until about 2017 or 2018. She said it would be impossible to remember every freak-off in which she participated because of the frequency of the events and the drugs she took to disassociate, which included GHB, ketamine, mushrooms, and ecstasy. She was also given drugs like cocaine to stay awake, she said, since Combs wouldn't allow her to sleep. "It just felt like it was all I was good for to him," Ventura said, her voice breaking. "I was humiliated." Describing herself as naive and a total people pleaser, she said she was afraid of making Combs angry or uncomfortable with a rejection. Later, Ventura feared that she would be blackmailed with videos and images of her participation in the freak-offs, as well as threatened with violence. Quote, "He had many resources," end quote, "to spread those images on the internet," she said. Quote, "It was always in the back of my mind that I would somehow be hurt by him. Sean is a really polarizing person, also very charming. So it's hard to be able to decide in that moment when he's telling you what he wants," end quote. Combs controlled much of her life, she said. The freak-offs became a job. There was no space to do anything else. And regarding the accusations of physical and emotional abuse, Ventura testified that Combs was controlling and grew physically abusive within the first year of their relationship. Her first day of testimony wrapped with the prosecution replaying footage of Combs physically assaulting Ventura at the Intercontinental Los Angeles downtown hotel in 2016. Ventura said she was participating in a freak-off that day when Combs became violent. Quote, "After he hit me and I saw the result of it, I knew I had to get out," she testified, adding that she wanted to appear in a decent shape because she had a big movie premiere the following day. "The next thing I knew, I was just thrown to the ground. It was really fast," Ventura said as she watched the footage of the incident. Now, we do actually have that footage for you. We want to give a disclaimer now. It's quite disturbing, but we do feel that it's important to air. Some of the most serious accusations Ventura has made in her since-settled 2023 lawsuit against Combs include that he forced his way into her home and raped her when she tried to leave him in 2018. When asked why she stayed on the ground as Combs kicked her, she replied, "Because it felt like the safest place to be." Lawyers for Combs are expected to argue that her romantic and sexual relationship with Combs was consensual and mutually violent. "There was hitting on both sides," defense attorney Mark Agnifilio said in court on Friday. "We're going to take the position that there was mutual violence in the relationship. We're 100% going to take that position," he said. So whilst these are all very disturbing allegations, we will see whether it's determined, as the defense lawyers say, that this was a mutually abusive relationship and what comes of this aspect to the trial. However, the part we suppose the public is most interested in is the potential blackmail ring operation associated with the freak-offs. As alleged by Cassie, she was afraid that if she stepped out of line, Diddy was well resourced and would leak tapes of her and the freak-offs online. We know from the information floating around thus far that a lot of high-profile people were involved in these freak-offs, and the speculation is that we're looking at some sort of hip-hop Epstein underbelly operation. Once again, as with the Epstein case, you could be almost certain that if found guilty, Diddy didn't act alone, and given his close relationships with prominent figures in politics, Hollywood, and even religious figures, what's equally as important is that any potential accomplices are brought to light as well, and this is thoroughly examined. We'll be sure to keep you updated with the most explosive aspects of this high-profile trial. We want to